I have given this presentation a few times before, and some other slides have been recycled, so those who have seen it is bear with me. Let me first explain to you some young people who came to Sri Lanka. The father was known to me, he's Sri Lankan, the mother was Dutch, and at 28 they drove Sri Lanka. They were young. This is what they did. They first came with their parents. They stayed 2 nights at Jetwing room, Colombo. The cost of the room accommodation was $100. So this is a nice hotel. This is what we call a 4-star hotel in Sri Lanka. Then they moved on to Jaffna Heritage Hotel because the father was originally born in Jaffna. Stayed a couple of nights, they paid $76. And they went around in a van. Then the two of them, Freddie and Lauren, separated from the parents, and they journeyed on their own. Then limited budget, so they stayed in a place called Villa, which was on Villa Valley Beach. It's $50, 3 rooms, 3 nights they stayed. Only they do scuba diving. At that time they were going around in a van. After that they went by bus. They went to Italy. They stayed 3 nights, $20 a night. And they did a safari around the area park, and the house had a few bicycles, they cycled around. Then they went to Colombo, and they stayed in a small place, they spent $30 a night. Interestingly, they said that climbing Kiriella cost $30. So some other Italian backpackers said, go up a rock or you run well the rock, from which you can see Kiriella and pay $3. So they did that, and that's a great experience, because it seems like I've never done this when I was in that age, but on the road you pick up a lot of friends and the road travelers, and they give you meals. Then they went into Arabia. They said this was not a very good place, $40 2 nights. They went to one place, tea plantation. And then they went by bus, Tambuga to Arabia. Then they went to Ella, $27 a night. And they said that it was one of the most spectacular experiences, the train journey from Hanoi to Ella, very scenic. And they did a little bit, and then they went to Mudadeniya, they had some friends, they stayed there. Then they went to Tisamara, so they were 28 days in the country, they went all over the place, $20 a night. And he was saying that, one was telling me that, they toured the lake with a tuk-tuk. So it's not, you don't do the tours in vans or safari jeep, but in a trishaw. And then they went to Tangol for a few nights, and then they came to Kokala, and then they came back to Colombo. They went by bus, they went by train. This is the couple. So the girl is half Dutch, half Sri Lankan, the boyfriend was Dutch. Both of them are highly educated, both are going to do PhDs in bioscience. And just before they finished their master's degrees, and in between they had toured. And they've gone to other countries also, Indonesia, the boy had gone to Latin America, Africa. And what they said was, in a narrow geography, it was an extremely rich experience. Warm, hospitable people, very thin snow. And I think they said that total spend was 1,600 euros. That's without the tickets. And they got some very cheap tickets from Emirates. So that's how they came. Now the question is that, and this is all possible because of the informal sector. So the question makes is this a total different segment? Are they very cannibalized in the formal segment? And my analysis is that it's a completely different segment, and these people would have never been able to come. So the question is, what is this informal sector? The definition gets all caught up. Small scale of operation, easy entry. So people can very easily, relatively easily come in and out of the sector. There's a lack of stable employee-employer relationship. This is the economic definition of informality. Skills gained outside formal education, regulation, taxes, and compliance. So now, if you look at the fiscal and regulatory landscape that is there in Sri Lanka, you have hotels, guest houses, and homestays. Now, some of the people in the formal sector, you hear them complaining about, these informal sector people, they have to be better regulated, this is unplanned, they don't pay all some of these, because they're such sub-scale operations, 3 rooms, 4 rooms, they actually don't hit the VAT threshold. So they don't have to pay VAT while a normal formal sector hotel, because the sheer size, they have to pay VAT. So these people have that advantage. Second thing is that even the income tax, they are below sometimes the income tax threshold. So in the current income tax regulation is 2.4 million. If your income is below 2.4 million, you don't pay taxes. As per the new budget, I don't know whether they changed that. Then even the electricity rates, basically, you have to have an establishment, otherwise you pay domestic rates, which is much higher. So not all of this is operating outside the law. Then you have the hotel classification. The Ceylon Tourist Board has a method of classification. Interestingly, that if you look at places like Booking.com and Agoda, although the Ceylon Tourist Board will probably have about 1,000 establishments under registration. I don't know what the latest statistic is, but certainly as of 2014, there's about 1,000. These internet booking engines will probably have 4,000. Right? So you have a long tail, large number of smaller properties. So the question I ask myself is then, what is the incentive for them to register? Why would they not have register? So the incentive that has been offered is a recognition as an authorized tourist establishment, professional advice, free training, free publicity, eligibility to apply for financial assistance. And then there is the cost is that you have a license and registration fee, and then you have to pay tourism levy of 2%. Of course, in this new budget, that has been taken away because of NBT, but they reversed that NBT, so now I don't know what the status is. So what has enabled this? Now, to give you some sense, is that last year 1.8 million tourists came, and we don't know the average stay numbers, but if you go by 2014, it's about 10 days. So that will give you about 18 million guest nights. Now, if you take 18 million guest nights, 50% of that is going to the informal sector. And only 50% is coming from the formal sector. So this is, and I would even suspect that the 50% may be more now. We'll wait for the statistics to come out. How has this been enabled? This is a total game changer. It's a total game changer. This is one of the huge success stories of our economy. Not many people have spoken about it. First of all, the internet. The internet was a game changer. The internet is revolutionizing the world. But in Sri Lanka, this is the first huge impact we have seen. Because in any business, scale is a disadvantage. Khare can't compete with a supermarket. Small operator, small businessman can't compete. Because he can't, people can't find him. What economists call search cost is very high for a small business. You can't advertise. You get ground, you don't have the brand. But through the internet search engines, it's a total game changer. So the fragmentation of the industry, what is called the long tail, has been enabled. And it's not only tourism, it has happened in retail, that if you have aggregators who allow like eBay, small shops can compete through eBay platform, people can buy their product. The same thing has happened through the internet. So the booking.coms, Expedia. Then the last mile access, because this is a completely distributed supply chain. The venerable Trishaw has fulfilled that. And we have, my estimate is every month write a legal report. It's about 750,000 to 800,000 Trishaws on the road in Sri Lanka. Every nook and corner of Sri Lanka you have Trishaw. So basically that last mile access has been enabled by the Trishaw. Then you have the Middle Eastern carriers. They have really come and given cutthroat competition. And enabled people to come. Just last week, Qatar Airways was running a deal. You can go to Europe for 75,000 rupees. Normal tickets about 130,000. So, another way for Sri Lanka is the air cost is coming down. Now the oil price is coming down. So the affordability, the total spend, actually basically we have a huge opportunity, and which is a major cost is compressed. So competition at lower cost. So the Middle Eastern carriers have enabled people to come here relatively cheaper. And with airline fares dramatically coming down, it's going to become even cheaper for them to come. And then the mobile phone. The venerable mobile phone has enabled through apps and things like Google Maps, that fear of navigating, say for being taken for a ride, is no more. people can track where they are moving around. So somebody is taking by taxi. So these were some slides to tell you what price points are on the ad. But this is a bit old. I mean, if you take the more recent ones, the prices have come down even. This is what they have enabled Airbnb, Agoda, Booking.com. Okay, so then I'm asking this question. When you say accommodation, what do you mean? The left is what are called hotels and resorts. And then you have non-hotels. You have apartments, guest houses and homestays. Then I ask this key question. Does a person, and Dileep also came to this about his experience, I am asking, does the person want a room for a night or a destination? Now, the higher-end products that we have developed is a total destination where people come and you stay on the resort. But people who are coming to this informal sector, in terms of accommodation, what is it that they want? Is it a room for the night? And then they want to have the experience, the great outdoors. They want to hang out on the beach, they want to trek, they want to experience the people. So, what's the point of putting them in a resort? Because that's not what they're looking at. He gave the example of the person who came to the room. I wanted to have a great seafood meal. So, what is the typical non-hotel sector who is looking for? What I call the 3 A's. First, they want an authentic experience, to live with locals, wanting an interaction with local community, experience Sri Lankans. I certainly have not done the informal thing here, and I've done that in Europe. And the experience of going and living in a homestay in somebody else's house, I mean, it sticks with you. Hotel room is hotel room all over the world. I've gone and stayed in bed and breakfast places in Italy, etc. Wonderful. Affordability. That the range of accommodation is between 10 and $60. And availability. That you don't have to be in the hotspots. For example, in the coastal areas, sort of this informal sector is not necessarily on the beach. It can be 1 or 2 kilometers even. Because they want to stay back getting into a dry shop to go to the beach. So how was this all made possible? Again, it's the internet. It's called data matching, raising awareness, price transparency, and long tail offer. Data matching is that it is able to match buyers and sellers. They can easily find themselves through this internet search engine. Raising awareness. So if you have a lot of small properties, basically through the search engine, they can be found. Price transparency. That you don't feel that you're getting ripped off because the booking engine will continuously give you prices. And long tail offering, which means that you can have very, very small properties coming online. So how did the internet solve the problem? First of all, it's an experiential product. You go and stay in a hotel room for the experience. But you probably never go there. You don't have a brand to tell you, okay, what you're going to experience. But then other people who have stayed there have given reviews. They can upload their own photos. So what the brand is missing, what the brand gives you the comfort that I'm going to holiday and I can expect something, you are having other reviewers giving you some comfort. The bathrooms are clean, it's a nice place, there is air conditioning. Otherwise you have this problem called information asymmetry, that the seller always has more information than the buyer. Then homogeneity, that hotel rooms are not a homogeneous product. Again, you can have photographs and other reviews. Repeatability. Most people will not necessarily go back to that same place again and again. And if you haven't tried something, you are reluctant to buy it now. But again, this whole user review, photographs, some people have uploaded videos, allows you to kind of have some pre-purchase experience. Perishability, that room nights, if you don't sell it today, are no good tomorrow, it's not carry forward. And that is where it allows them to do dynamic pricing. Formally the big hotels, they had to do this revenue management, yield management, they had these software systems, so all started in the airline industry. But even now, small properties, basically the room is not selling, they drop the price. It's so easy, just log into the site and drop the price. Purchase confirmation, that if you make a booking, you get an email that you have some guarantee that your booking is there. And no upfront cost. If you want to onboard yourself on booking.com, it's they will only work for free. So that is why informality in small companies is very easy to play. Entry costs are very low. So this is the ecosystem, that how this is all possible, that it is the whole OT ecosystem, that you have channel managers and online travel agents that have enabled this whole thing. Just a few more slides. How is this direct benefit? This is not trickle down, it's a direct benefit. So I was getting some of my staff who are from down south tell me what are the other kind of options. Renting surfboards and beach beds, 1,000 rupees a day. Surfing lessons, 1,000 a day. 3-wheeler transportation, scooter rentals. Lots of, I again like this transportation. See, for 15,000 scooters a month are coming. And some of you people are using, but a lot of tourists, I've seen this in Bali, etc. 16 years ago, people running around. So there's a huge multiplier effect going in. And if you go to those coastal towns, it's boom. Income levels, and you're not going to the factory nearby, or you can't get anybody from the south anymore because they have so much opportunities. So that's what I say, that this is one of the big success stories in Sri Lanka, and it has happened without too much of formal planning. We have not consciously gone about doing this, it has just happened. There was much talked about statistics, again, repeat some of the things. 17% growth is about 1.8 billion tourists. We are estimated to have earned about $2.8 billion. Couple of things I want to show. You know how we talk about China, etc., that the top arrivals, I'm using 2014 statistics, 42% came from Asia. But there is an interesting issue here, that if you look at Rome nights, which is volume, Western Europe accounted for 45%. And 10% came from Eastern Europe. So you put the two together. This is 2014 statistics. I'm presuming it will be very similar for 2015. We are still very much a European-driven market. The volumes, although the Chinese are coming and the numbers are coming, they are staying only 5 to 6 days versus an average European who is staying between 10 and 12. So the volume is still being generated from Europe. And a couple more slides. One is about this Spain. I think that's supposed to have gone up to 164, but you know how this $160 is getting spent as per the Tourist Development Authority report. They are estimating $104 is for the room. The shops are getting $18. What is exchanged at the banks is about $18. The travel agents are getting about $15. The gem people are getting about $7. So all of that money that is being estimated is not necessarily getting spent in the room. But a lot of people in the industry feel this $104 that the hotels are capturing, and that's not necessarily the room rate, that is including the taxes and VAT and everything. Seems a bit excessive. Couple of more slides. The highway that has come is a game changer. So initially you say a contestable spaces and Nigamo people had an advantage because they were closer to the airport. But after this highway has come up, now it's going all the way to Martin, it's going to get extended, and yet there is a precedent of a circular highway that is missing. But within a 2-hour transit time, now the catchment area has become much higher. So the competition and the contestable zone has widened significantly. And lastly, this is about how these people are coming. Everybody has heard about the Malays of the Sri Lankan Airlines. Now, as I said, 55%